This album is called Kaiso, and Kaiso is a old West African word, and it comes from the form of encouragement to an artist while doing something, either in a fight or a dance or a song. And so Kaiso is what you would say when you enjoy something. Evolve hundreds of years, Kaiso becomes a reference for Calypso based on people being so satisfied with what they were hearing. They would yell out, Kaiso, Kaiso. And that became the term that was used to refer to Calypso among Kaisonians. We eventually began having what you call political commentary, social commentary Calypso, where any issue that happened, a Calypsonian would sing about it. A man named the Growling Tiger, who my grandfather actually recorded with, he said once that Calypso is the poor man's newspaper. It's an editorial and song. It's for those who couldn't read. They would be notified of events based on the calypsos that they would hear.
What the salesman say was handmade in the USA. I mean, it's pretty nice, but I think it is overpriced. Oh shucks, I almost paid $200.
So we take a bunch of traditional calypsos and we play them with my jazz group. We have Jacques Schwartz-Bart, Brian Hogans, Obed Calvé, Ben Williams, Solomon Fortner. I rearranged quite a few of the classics from my favorite calypsonians. People like Grandmaster Lord Kitchener, the Mighty Sparrow, the Roaring Lion. We do some traditionals as well, some traditional chants. Some of it is actually not even in English, some of it is in patois. We also have some special guests on board. The Lord Superior, a Calypsonian who came up in the 50s with Sparrow and Kitsch. I got in touch with him and I said, I'm doing a record of calypsos. I'm a jazz musician, I live in New York, I'm from Trinidad originally. Would you like to be a part of it? And he was like, you have my 100% support. And I was actually really humbled by the fact that he would entertain coming to New York and doing this record with me, which is a blessing, so thank you, Supi.
This project, as far as I'm concerned, is fantastic. This young man, Mr. Charles, is going to take it from one stage to another stage, a higher stage. From the 20s, Calypso used to be very popular in New York, especially in Harlem. Mountains to raise rent. They had something called the house rent parties, where Calypso was sung and everybody chip in to pay the rent. It's a part of the culture here. It isn't fear, this persecution I cannot bear. Every Monday, Mr. give me the rent. All how I try, I cannot prevent. She telling me, Mr. give me the rent. I think this is going to broaden the whole thing and sensitize the world to the versatility of the Calypso music. I am very happy and proud to be selected to be a part of this project.
That's a funny thing there.
Anything you want to play then?
Yeah, I find a rhythm.
It's really a pleasure to have Monty on board for the album. I've been lucky enough to do a couple Calypso programs with him, do some Harlem Kingston Express concerts with him. The first record I ever got, the first record I ever heard, jazz record, was an album called Yard Movement, which is a concert that Monty did. That was my first introduction to jazz, and it was an introduction that taught me already that jazz was about a fusion between different styles of music, and really an inspiration and a great joy to have him on the album.
Calypso influenced me as a musician. Big part of my life, because when you're a kid and you hear all these local musicians playing Kitchener songs and Sparrow songs and Roaring Lion songs, it gets in your brain. And I heard the Trinidadian Calypsonians and their songs. So I didn't even think of Jamaica and Trinidad, I just heard the music.
Also Ralph McDonald, the legend himself, who is the son of a calypsonian. Most people know him as a composer and percussionist, good songwriter and producer. I met Ralph in Trinidad. I was about 12, 13, or 14. I was really young. I used to play on the road with Phase 2, which is a steel band in Trinidad and Tobago. They said, yo, you, let our man play, let him play. He comes and starts playing. He has very soft touch. This guy is something else. And they said, that's Ralph McDonald. And I was like, oh, okay, that's Ralph McDonald.
Have a bell on the gate, ring it and wait. She must come after you call. And, to me, those songs are just priceless. And I mean, I sang them, I could sing them now like I sang them when I was a kid and first heard them. It was just good growing up. But because of my dad, I had to listen to calypso music, thank God. Growing up in Harlem for me, was a nice rainbow of colors in terms of music. I've had some real big songs. One of the biggest songs that I ever had in terms of sale-wise was a song called Calypso Breakdown, which was in the movie soundtrack album Saturday Night Fever. These old standards that you did, especially Sparrow, Rose. I remember singing Rose when I was a kid. Sugar Boom Boom, Teresa. This brings back memories for me. I love it. I'm a musician. That's what I first grew up hearing. You take me to another level. And that's what I like about the music, because that's what music is about. That's what my dad played, that kind of music, that kind of vibe. So to me, it's like coming home or going home.
For me, as a jazz musician, at the core and a composer, I was always blown away by the melodies, by the arrangements, by the use of interplay between the horns, and percussion, and vocals. And so for me, the melodies are so strong and so beautiful that I can take that melody and construct a whole different arrangement off of it, simply because the melodies are that sound. And so that's, for me, what the core of Kaiso, the album, is about. It's really about connecting with a different aspect of my musical roots, really digging into paying homage to legends like Kitch and Sparrow. The Kitch has passed on, and his legacy will live on forever as a calypsonian and a composer. And Rowan Lyon is no longer with us. Melody is no longer with us. Pretender is no longer with us. But we need to keep the music pushing forward, and we need to keep people knowing about what I think of as our classical music in Trinidad and Tobago. We go through a bunch of different phases in calypso, so the up-tuned, the party songs, the dance songs. And so now we've recorded it. It was quite fun. We're lucky enough to have so many of my friends from school, from Juilliard on board. A great chamber orchestra conducted by Mr. Rosa, who also arranged Teresa for us. And yes, it was a fun time.
Oh, here comes the great engineer. I'm very happy to have him in here. I think he did a very good job. And we should get some work in some good nightclub. Especially places like Gillespie, where we did a show recently. I hope we could go back there again to sing this sweet refrain. And what I'm saying, it is really true. The sound engineer, it got to be you.
Well, this engineer, he is the very one. His name is David Darlington. I like the way he makes on the board. He makes me feel like I'm my lord. When his music is mixed so nice, it mixed like peas and rice. Me and him are very good friends, but he never take me for a ride in the Mercedes Benz.
Well, Etienne, you're a most talented man. And this is something I never knew. That you could play quattro and you could extempo. You're doing pretty good. You're doing just the way you should. Etienne, excellent. I think I'm going to hire you in the Calypso tent.